Hi, and welcome to another episode of Bespoke Architects Daily Pinup. I'm Nicole Walters, Director of Bespoke Architects, and I'm about to show you what inspiring architectural images have made our Pinterest boards today. It was a really great day for screens and for materials, so let's just jump straight into it. The first image up here is a window shroud. I really liked it. It's a Corten shroud, and we can see that it's a rusted Rio screen. This is the building in this image here and this image here. So you can see the repetition of the window shrouds on that facade. And you can also get a sort of a broader perspective of those Rio bar screens that they've made. It almost looks like a bit like a bird's nest. So that I just found that a really nice way to do what is essentially a two-story gabled rectangle. And then this end here with the little sort of shroud over that, or an eyelash over that door, or what I assume is a door at the bottom there. I just thought that was a really nice elevation. And then we can see the Corten wrapping around as part of that landscaping. And again here, they're sort of using it over that basement level. So I just thought that was a really nice use of materials and a really different way to do a screen and then integrate that with the window shroud. So that was something a little bit different and why it made the board. And from that same museum, I just really loved this particular feature light that's in a void here. So I just thought that was really, really lovely. So I've kept that in as well, or pinned that as well, I should say. Up here, it was just that whole sense of a mezzanine. We can see the glass balustrade here as the fall protection. And then over this section here where the roof is lower, we can see that there's actually that sort of netting section for those who aren't scared of heights. To sit up there and relax just above the general living space. So I thought that was a really, just a really nice and something slightly different for a mezzanine level. So that's why that one is up there. This image was pinned for that window seat. It's sort of integrated into the overall bedroom joinery. The window furnishings are sitting on it. I just thought that was a really nice end to a bedroom. So that's why that one is up there. This one here is on my furniture and objects board. I just thought that was a really nice sort of little semi-privacy cubicle, I guess you'd say, in which to work if you're in a really big sort of open plan space. That might be a really nice place to park yourself to do some sort of more quiet, sort of private sort of computer work. This house here, this was the image that I saw this morning that grabbed me. It could have been the color red, or it could have been this concept of the cantilever, which we can see in detail here. I just really liked that, the sense of the cantilever, the use of the red on those support steel. This image here I pinned for the stairs, the external landscaping and the stairs, the way that sort of sloping site has been landscaped. And then again here, we can see it's sort of a hardscaping. There's a built-in seat, the solid retaining wall, and then the risers of these stairs are solid, and then the top is a stone, a little pebble stone, which I thought was really nice. So that's why that is on the board. From the same house, this is what those screens that we can see around the outside look like from the inside, from that living space, just to give a sense of the lighting that comes through with screens. I thought that was a really great image to help that sort of facilitate a discussion around screens and the advantages of using them. I also really liked this project. Again, we can see a lot of cantilevered sort of parapet boxes here. We've got a contrast in materials, and we're getting a lot of depth created by the offsetting of those boxes. So again, that was just something really interesting that I thought was a really nice design solution. Here's a close-up of that material palette. We can see the concrete walls with the markings in them, and then obviously the timber screen over the opening there is really nice. So that's why that made the board today. The bathroom fittings, I just pinned up a couple because I sort of suggested material palettes that are a bit left of center. So something that we don't see so often is sort of got that rusted Corten type of look carried through to the tapware, and then the really nice sort of light green tile that goes with that. And then this one here, it's the same color tap, I'm going to say, and then they've thrown it more to the blues and the gray palette. So just how that taps can work with different color palettes. I thought that was really nice. Moving along, this house here, I really liked this sort of alfresco area with the extended shape at the bottom, and then it narrows at the top. It feels open at the bottom and closed at the top. It's still a really nice sort of composition, really nice materials. Here it is from another angle. I really liked the choice of running the first floor house material onto the fence. So that's why that image is on the board from that same property, that spiral stair. It's just sculptural and beautiful, and that is why it is on there. It's very minimalist in the way that it looks in that lounge room. This project here I pinned for the use of the sort of the screen material that we can see here, and the way the different heights are working in the elevation, and then the complementary material palette used on the ground treatment as well as on the building itself. So I thought that was really nice. This little bathroom here is out of this project here, and I just really liked the way that this was a triangle bath. It would be an interesting bath in which to sit, so I quite like that. So that's why that is on the board. Again, I really liked the shape of this, like really severe skillion, and then the cutaway in the corner that defines the entry. I thought that was really nice, and when we see it in the context of its urban environment, I think it contrasts really nicely in the way that it's one material and it's one form and it's really strong. So that's why that has made the board. This little pod, another little pod, we're going to see definitely a trend towards pods, I think, post-COVID-19. So this one was just, I really liked the material on the outside. It does have an open ceiling, but it does have a closable door. So again, you could conduct a private meeting in a bigger space. Obviously, this pod up here is built for one, and this pod down here could possibly comfortably hold about 3 people. So that was just really interesting again. This here, I really liked this desk light that sort of clips on to the side of the desk. So that's why that one is on there. This image here, it's a mid-century and it's an original mid-century, but just the detailing around that fireplace. The room itself is definitely of its period, and as is the fireplace, but I really just thought the fireplace itself was really a nice composition, a nice use of materials, something a little bit different. And then we see the window above and the flue outside. So the solidness of that fireplace doesn't extend all the way from floor to ceiling. It is broken with that beautiful infill window above. So I just thought that was a really nice way to do a fireplace. This is the same, no, strike that, different house. This is a Frank Lloyd Wright original, but it's just his use of stacked stone around as a dado, and then we see it on the chimney place, and then the windows themselves and how that works with this soaring sort of gable roof that cantilevers out. It was just a really nice corner to a building. That's why that's made the board today. Facades, so I was very strong on facades this morning. This one here is just a beautiful gable. It feels like a triangle sitting on top of a square, and that is achieved through their use of materials. So we see a very solid element here emerging out of that sloping site. And then we have this open triangle above that feels like the living space. So that was just a really nice, it's just a beautiful photo, but a really nice form. This one here, we can see there's an angled window underneath the soffit lining, and it was just their use of glass that I really liked. This one here, again, we're seeing a lot of glass, and in these, the structure, we can see the big beams up here, and then don't be fooled, those elements there are actually holding the roof up. So they are, you know, there is structure in between those window panes to achieve that look, but it is just a really beautiful corner again. As something completely different, but still a corner, is this image here. We can see it's cantilevering out over its sloping site. The 2 floors are broken in their use of material, so it's definitely, you definitely get that sense of 2 boxes sitting on top of each other. And the screening that they've done on that top box is really, really nice. So that's why that one is up there. This one here, it feels like an extension on an older building. I'm saying that based on the materials. And I just really like that composition of this really nice, clean, white sort of entry and potentially staircase mixed in with this sort of rustic looking stone. I think the contrast is really nice there on the facade. And the fact that the new bit is independent in its material palette and in its form to the existing, I thought that was really nice. And finally, this house here, I just really liked. Again, we've got a cantilever. It was a big day for cantilevered facades. The solidness, it's an asymmetrical roof, so that ridge line that splits the fall of the roof is not centered to that building, it's over to the 1/3 rule. It lines up with this recess in the cladding, and then over for the final third we then see the window shroud and the window. So it doesn't matter what the style of design is, as long as you get those proportions right and the lines are correct, you can make any style work, in my view. So we end with a collection of really well thought out spatial elevations just to finish today's daily pinup with. So thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to showing you some more inspiring images and talking you through what makes them wonderful tomorrow and what makes them appear on my board. If you are looking for previous episodes of the Daily Pinup, you can find them here on Pinterest and on Instagram. However, there is a size limit for those files and a length limit. So if you are looking for the full series, it is on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Bye.